The British government has initiated a plan to override parts of the Northern Ireland Protocol, a key post-Brexit agreement with the EU. The new legislation, which will be voted on in Westminster, will give the UK government new powers in Northern Ireland. However, Brussels says by making any unilateral changes to the protocol, the UK is breaking international law. Prime Minister Boris Johnson now faces the prospect of legal action from the bloc as early as Friday. And Johnson is also being accused of jeopardizing stability in the region. Now let's head over to Brussels and speak to our correspondent Shona Murray, who joins us now live. Shona, so I was reading on the UK government's website where they say that this new bill is going to fix the Northern Ireland Protocol. How is it going to do that?
Well, the UK's idea is that it's going to scrap unilaterally the protocol negotiated with the EU and replace it with its own unilateral system that does not have the support of Brussels. Now, remember what the protocol does. It keeps Northern Ireland in the EU's single market for goods. So that's why the EU has oversight over what happens in Northern Ireland, because it has to protect the EU's single market. Now, the UK has said it won't have any regulatory checks on goods going from Great Britain to Northern Ireland for essentially goods that are staying within Northern Ireland. The EU says this will threaten the viability of the single market, because you could have smugglers putting goods into Northern Ireland that are unauthorised. You could have meat from countries that the EU doesn't have any trade agreement with, that have lower standards, that will find their way into the Republic of Ireland or onto the EU's single market. So that's hugely problematic. There's also going to be this dual regulatory system where manufacturers can produce goods to either UK standards, which is likely to be lower standards than the EU, which would be much more cheaper standards, or EU standards, which again would get mixed up in the Northern Ireland itself, and again threaten the viability and the substance of the EU single market. The other aspect is that the UK is saying it will no longer allow the European Court of Justice have any oversight, which again would threaten Northern Ireland's place in the EU single market. So it's a huge deal, and it's being treated very seriously here in Brussels.
Well, the EU says it's not going to renegotiate that Northern Ireland Protocol. So what is the EU going to do?
Well, that's the thing, Per. The EU has said it's not going to renegotiate the legal framework of the protocol, but it is willing to change parts of it to allow for more seamless trade in goods, Great Britain to Northern Ireland. And it has started that process back in October, but the EU's position is that the UK has refused to negotiate on this. So the EU will do a few things. First of all, will elaborate on some of the derogations it will allow Northern Ireland to have in relation to the protocol in a more sort of constructive manner. And then second of all, start infringement proceedings against the UK for breaching the international treaty, which is the Northern Ireland Protocol. That will possibly start this week, reviving infringement proceedings. But ultimately, Per, if this legislation goes all the way through the House of Commons, which there's a question over whether it will or not, then we will see the EU-UK trade and cooperation agreement, the trade agreement between the two sides, jeopardised and possibly suspended, which could result in a trade war. Nobody wants this in Brussels, but the EU is very much of the position that they're sick and tired of this belligerent approach from Britain, and it no longer wants to continue sort of taking it lying down, particularly at a time when they would have expected Western alliances to stick together amid the war in Ukraine. Per?